This is the air filter change on the 2008 E320 Bluetec. I went online to eBay and I found the air filters. They're the same as the Napa 2468, but actually they're made by Wix, W-I-X. And you can go online and find those. They were $35 for the pair. It was the cheapest I could find. First thing we're going to do, just so you know, I'm a novice. I've never done the air filters before. I've done it on other cars and things like that, but this is my first attempt at my Mercedes. First thing, pull off the cover, set it off to the side. And here you see the engine. Now, you got one air filter over here, and then you got another air filter over here. You've got the air plenum that goes across, and it connects up into the turbo, which sucks the air in. Now, the first thing you have to do is pull off the oil drip container. Toss it there. And there's a few bolts that you have to take off. There's that one right there that you see. And over on this side, there's one right there. You can see that one. Put my finger on it. That one right there. And then on the right hand side, there's one in the back down there. You see that shiny one. And then there's also over here on this side, there you see the 2-1, it's the left one that you got to disconnect. Then as you can see, there are some screws that hold it in. Here's one here. And in order for you to get this, you got to take it apart. Now there's a clip here, and then this clip here for a sensor, and then there's one here on the back on the plenum. We're going to disconnect, or not really disconnect, we're going to loosen this bolt screw, and then of course this bolt and screw. So I'm going to go ahead and take all those bolts loose, and then as soon as I'm ready to start taking it apart, I'll restart. Alright, I just wanted to show you that I did get out the bolts here. And I used this tool set that I have. It's not the exact match, but I wanted you to see that you can do stuff without necessarily having to go out and buy the right kind of stuff. As you can see, it's like a star nut, and I used a 5/16 little driver here. And I'm going to set that on the side with the front. And as you can see, if I can get my light over here, I got the back one out too. So that's that. Now, I'm going to go do the other side. Okay, I'm back, and I wanted to show you that I really am improvising. What I got here for this side, for this setup, because it's too far away, and because, again, I don't have the right tools and I didn't want to go buy them. I guess if I did this again, I probably would, but I took a DeWalt swap drill bit and turned it around, took out the drive shaft, and put my tool in. Now I'm actually using here, and I'll take it out, I'm actually using a 5/16 socket with this, and then I'm going to get my pliers, because it's really not on there too hard. I mean, really over tight. You don't want to over tighten them. And as you can see, I got a little bit of room to work with, and I'm going to get a wrench and put it around that and turn it, and then I'll take it off. But as again, I just wanted you to see that I really am improvising. All right, I broke it loose. And now you can see I'm going to take this out. Now this one on the other side had a really long screw. And I don't want to take up all your time and I know how I am with watching some of these, but I think I got it loose. And there you can see my little improvised extension. I have this little kit that I'm using. This is my driver for this. Okay, see if I can get my fingers down in there to pull it out. Okay, it's loose. And maybe I'll just leave it there for the moment. And because I can't get it out, I'm going to have to use two hands. So, all right, I got it out. There it is. I had to actually slip my fingers in from around the oil filter there, and then put my extension on and then use my fingers as a pry. Now, the clips I talked about, they're pressure clips. And again, I need two hands, so I'll try to do this so you can see where, if I can clip it there. Nope, I'm going to have to use two hands. So anyway, it does, if you pinch the end, you might be able to see a little bit of the movement there. That disengages, and I got to shake it out. So pause. Okay, I got them disengaged. I did have to pinch, and I used a little flathead to get in between that one. And then that one just pulled right out of the plenum. But as you can see, it got a little bit of an oil leak there. How bad is that? I don't know. But now I'm going to see if I can yank that sucker out. And voila, look at that. Came right out. Just going to set that off to the side there. So now I've got my filters free. I got that, it broke loose. Let's try this one. And that one broke loose. Looks like I've got to disconnect this one too. But let's see if I can get this one out. And again, I think I'm going to have to use two hands. So I'm going to have to pause you and see if I can get that sucker out. Okay, I got it out. But as you can see, there's this connection I wasn't, I'm a goofball here, I guess. Wasn't paying real close attention. But it did come out, and you can see the place where it locks in there and the other lock in. And I didn't account for this hose right here that I'm touching here. That one just had to pull it out back a little, lift it and pull it back, and it popped right out. Okay, now that one looks like it's going to be a lot more fun. I got to disconnect the sensor, and I'm hoping it goes as easy as the one side, but Mercedes, I'm not that faithful. Or I don't have that much trust in making it that simple. We'll pause. I'm not going to tell you that was easy. In fact, it was pretty hard. I had to get a screwdriver. I had to lift it, pull it, and then I used my screwdriver as a pry bar to pop and separate the air intake there to the filter. My filters were super dirty, and I see why these probably are not changed very often. You can see that one was really easy, and you can see the white inside. I replaced that one already. But don't mind my garage. Anyway, so here it is. I did get it out, and you can see there's the 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm not going to belabor you watching me do that part. So, all right. As you can see, I did get everything put back together. Just a couple of quick notes about this right side over here. When I put this back in, and it kind of, you go in at an angle and then push it over and make sure you catch those two sockets there. The hose connection there, that was a real pain to get that separated. That was what was causing me the difficulty. But when I lifted it up and then lifted it on the back side, you know, when I lifted the filter container and lifted it up backside, lifted it up as high as I possibly could, and then I had to shake it and pull back towards the engine, and then I took my long-handled screwdriver and I got it in there and to pry it apart, and then gave it a little pop and it came out, and I was able to change it that way. Put it back in the same way. As you can see, all my screws are tightened up nicely. This side you can see where I got my screws there nice and tight. These screws are number 25 stars, by the way. And again, I go back to, I don't know what size the bolts are, but that 5/16, you know, that, like I said, they weren't in real tight, and they went in easy. And again, there's the connection for the O-ring there. That one had to come off. This connection on the O-ring there for the turbo, and then again this O-ring connection right here. As you can see, I'm tapping it with my light. So just real quick to review what I did is I disconnected the O-rings, the two connectors on each side that are connected to the air filters, the one on the turbo, disconnected the sensors this side and this side, and again that one just kind of popped out. I did have to use a little screwdriver to get it right in between here and pry it a little bit. You can see my marks, and pried it apart. It was really tight. This side lifted the back end out and pushed it back, and it went out real nice. That one was real easy. This one, that was a pain in the butt, but I think the next time I do it, it will be a lot easier for me since I have done it once. And usually when I do something once, it makes it a lot easier the second time around. The fuel filter right here in the center, I have a feeling, you know, I saw there was a guy who had a MLK. He had, or an ML diesel, similar engine. He changed his, gave me the courage, I think, that I'll probably try to do it as well. One thing he did do was he said that he bought some diesels so that when he filled up he pre-filled his filter before he connected it back up. And maybe it'll be easy for me next time when I go to change the air filters. I may change the fuel filter again. All in all, this took me about an hour and a half to accomplish all this, again, because I'd never done it before. Next time it'll probably be a lot quicker. I did buy myself one of those siphon oil changers so I can change this oil through the dipstick where you suck it out. Oil filter right here. Try to go to AutoZone. They don't have this size of a socket type oil filter wrench, but I do have a slip type that I have for changing the water filter for my house, so I'll probably end up using that. Again, I had a 5/16 socket. It's a star bolt. I probably maybe will look for that, but in all, it's a good accomplishment for me, and I saved some money. I called around, checked with some guys at different auto shops, and they wanted $100 to $150 to do the air filters. So I figured I'll save myself $100 to $150. And hopefully this will help you, give you the courage to go out and do it. I'm a programmer. That's what I do. So looked it over and thought I can do this too. So, and I did.